6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. An island-wide survey will be conducted to identify problems related to nutrition of the people. The U.S. ambassador to UN agencies assures to give all assistance to the development of Sri Lanka's agricultural sector. Report of the special committee related to the May 9th violent incidents will be submitted to Parliament soon. The Manusavi Social Security Contributory Pension Scheme launched at the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau. Foreign news: a deadly gun attack launched at a Russian school. Sports: Veteran Athletics Championship will be held in January at the Sugatadasa Stadium in Colombo. News in detail. Minister Kehlia Rambukwella has instructed officials to conduct an island-wide survey to identify problems related to nutrition of the people. The aim is to find out whether the reports published recently about children's nutritional deficiencies are true. He said necessary measures will be taken based on the data obtained from the survey. Meanwhile, Dr. Rukshan Bellana says there is no acute level of malnutrition in the country. He pointed out that the crisis has occurred due to details presented by the UNICEF officials with political aims. Taking part in the Dasadesin program of the SLBC this morning, he said legal action should be taken against those who spread false rumors. The U.S. ambassador to UN agencies in Rome, Cindy McCain, has assured to give all assistance to the development of Sri Lanka's agricultural sector. She said a special discussion will be held with all relevant stakeholders when she met Minister Mahinda Amravira at his ministry. The U.S. ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chang, was present on the occasion. Minister Amravira disclosed that many European countries have come forward to lend their support to rebuild Sri Lanka. State Minister of Defence Pramita Bandara Tendakon said in Parliament that report of the special committee related to the violent incidents that took place on and around May 9th was handed over to the President on the 8th of September, and accordingly steps will be taken to inform the Cabinet and the Parliament about it in the future. The State Minister said this recently while presiding over the first meeting of the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Defence related to the new session. Meanwhile, approval of the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Defence was received to present the order made under the Extradition Law number 8 of 1977 relating to extradition treaty between Sri Lanka and the United Arab Emirates for the approval of Parliament. The purpose of this is to remove the legal obstacles in bringing criminals from the United Arab Emirates to Sri Lanka according to the extradition treaty made between the two countries in 2014. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Manusavi Social Security Contributory Pension Scheme was launched today at the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau. The pension will be decided on the amount contributed and the duration of the contribution. The pension can be decided at the time the employee is leaving for overseas employment. Speaking on the occasion, Minister Manusha Nanayakara said that a social security network will be introduced for each worker in the country in the future. The Parliament of Sri Lanka and the University of Colombo jointly initiated a short course on parliamentary affairs and procedures for the first time in history. The inaugural event of the course was held at the University of Colombo. The opening keynote speech was delivered by the Secretary-General of Parliament, Dhammika Dasnayaka. This course aims in providing scholars with an understanding with regard to democracy and the parliamentary system, legislative process of Parliament, evolution of the parliamentary system, parliamentary committee system, Parliament and public, code of conduct for members, standing orders, correlation for public service processors, women's representation and other topics. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation Board of Directors has decided to fix the Dealers Commission for dealer-owned, dealer-operated, company-owned, dealer-operated and dealer-based issuing of fuel under the QR code for 2 months. The letter on this was issued by the CPC Marketing Division to the chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation on Friday. The decision was taken at a meeting held at the CPC with the participation of official representatives of dealer union associations, Shakti Lanka and Ceylon Petroleum Corporation officials. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policies Ministry says information and details requested by creditors from the government will be provided within the next 2 weeks. The ministry also hopes that the institutions and organisations that gave loans will respond favourably to the government's request to assist in the restructuring of foreign loans taken by Sri Lanka. And that was Watchlight. Up next is World News, and in the headlines, a deadly gun attack launched at a Russian school. NASA spacecraft is lining up to smash into an asteroid. Rihanna will headline Super Bowl halftime show. Russian officials say a gunman has opened fire at a school in central Russia, killing at least 6 people and injuring 20. According to Russian media, victims include pupils and a security guard at the school in the city of Izhevsk. The incident took place at school number 88, which has almost 1,000 pupils and some 80 teachers. The gunman has reportedly killed himself, and the motive is unclear. Emergency officials are at the scene. In the coming hours, the American Space Agency will crash a probe into an asteroid. NASA's DART mission wants to see how difficult it would be to stop a sizable space rock from hitting Earth. The demonstrations is taking place some 11 million kilometers away on a target called Dimorphos. The agency says the rock is not currently on a path to hit the Earth, nor will the test accidentally send it in our direction. The NFL has announced pop superstar Rihanna will headline the halftime show at February's Super Bowl in Arizona. The 9-time Grammy winner broke the news by posting a photo of an NFL-branded football to Twitter. Organizers called the 34-year-old a generational talent in a press release issued yesterday. The show is one of the most coveted slots in music, with this year's 14-minute spectacle drawing in more than 120 million viewers. Back to the headlines of the world news. A deadly gun attack launched at a Russian school. NASA spacecraft is lining up to smash into an asteroid. Rihanna will headline Super Bowl halftime show. And that ends world news. On to development news. The committee appointed by the government has decided to hold weekly meetings and provide solutions for the implementation of delayed development projects. The committee, appointed under the leadership of Prime Minister's Secretary Andra Dissanayake, will act to solve the problems faced by each development project. And that ends development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
With many values that bind us beyond the transaction, we are Sampath Bank. We present your future.
On sports news, the 36th Veterans Athletics Championship will be held on the 13th, 14th and 15th January at the Sukatadasa Stadium in Colombo. Events have been organised under various age groups from the age of 30 years. Further information can be obtained by calling over the telephone numbers 0712 722147 or 0724 454441. And that was sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
China Eastern Airlines is looking at adding another flight to their flight schedule to Sri Lanka in a bid to increase passenger traffic between the two countries. Currently, the airline operates 3 flights per week to Kunming with a stopover in the Maldives and 1 to Shanghai. The airline, which has been flying to Sri Lanka for the past 12 years, connects Sri Lanka to over 80% of Chinese cities via Shanghai and Kunming. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by...
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Economic news, courtesy of Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka Tea Board Chairman Niraj Dimel told the 168th AGM of the Planters Association of Ceylon in Colombo, even with a low crop, the country has managed to earn $882 million from tea exports in the first 8 months of the year. He said during the first 7 months, rubber, coconut and export agriculture has earned $600 million, $590 million and $250 million, respectively. And that was economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
In the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the central, lower, north central, northwestern and eastern provinces and in the Mullaitivu district during the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the north central, central, and eastern provinces. A few showers will occur in the western and Sabragama provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. That was the weather report, and to end this news broadcast, the headlines again. An island-wide survey will be conducted to identify problems related to nutrition of the people. The US ambassador to UN agencies assures to give all assistance to the development of Sri Lanka's agricultural sector. Report of the special committee related to the May 9th violent incidents will be submitted to Parliament soon. The Manusavi Social Security Contributory Pension Scheme launched at the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau. In foreign news, a deadly gun attack launched at a Russian school. And in sports, Veteran Athletics Championship will be held in January at the Sugatadasa Stadium in Colombo. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And over to my friend and colleague Mariela Van Dot on the other side to keep you company with the rest of the programs. Over to you, Mariela.